Ah, hello. The name's Anani Orb. Don't mind my cat. I'm here to talk to you today about this season. All in all, I think it's a good season. I know, some of you are going, but I feel too powerful. Well, walk with me. You're talking about how you're missing the menagerie. Yeah, I miss it too. It had a good shooting range. But as we're going, all the good loot it had, well, let's take a look at what these humble engrams could give us. We have all these options. Uh, and all these options. Heck, we even have all these options. We almost have more options than the menagerie had for weapons. The power fantasy isn't gone either. In fact, it's just starting. I see you noticed my trace light core in my hand. Well, let's go in a vault. Power fantasy that is happening right now started last season with this little thing, the crown splitter. Don't mind my rolls; they're not the best out there, but uh, with this, we started to be able to take out champions without having to worry about stunning them. Uh, we found out how good blinding grenades are. As you can see, I have quite a few. We're getting access to more and more sources for depth loot. We're getting some old favorites back. Yeah, some old favorites of people. We found out new favorites of ours that became a staple for most encounters. We're even getting back armors that basically, yeah, were the meta for a long time in D1. I mean, look how beautiful these babies are. And they can even shade now. Oh yeah. Mm. So we're finally getting choices besides the one-eye mask. Tell you, be honest, you're using it all the time. You're going to say that you're not. But we're also talking about how things feel like they're getting weak for us. Like we're getting too powerful in PvP. Well, PvE. You know, we're killing enemies faster thanks to our stronger weapons. Stasis is a huge crutch for us. We're killing ads. We're doing supers that lock champions in place while we just beat them to death and inflict more damage to bosses thanks to stacking up stasis crystals everywhere that they keep having a shatter. But that's okay. We're going to a new world. Just next season, we're going to be going to the Witch Queen. We're already doing stuff for Microsoft. We're going to see one queen versus another. And quite frankly, we're going to be dealing with the return of one of two raids with her. We could either see the return of a controversial raid that half the Destiny 1 population loved, the other half didn't love, the Kingsfall raid, or we're going to be with a raid that I never heard a bad thing about, with Wrath of Machine. We're facing Oryx's sister. The Cosmodrome is back. They're highly populating every store possible with more and more of the yeah, Siva ornaments. I mean, you can see Siva starting to take over almost everything. We are in an age where uh, we might be getting either of those back. Siva, considered one of the most powerful enemies we had, and Oryx, bringing forth the Taken. And every time they accidentally mess something up with the Taken Scions, we once more realize why we hated Taken Scions. Whew, they could be an enemy of themselves sometimes. Especially if uh, Bungie decides to bring forth another uh, wave of letting them infinitely spawn like they usually do. But we are in the rise of iron of D2 right now. We felt amazingly powerful back then. We got powerful weapons. We were called Iron Lords after that. We had a wonderful new social space like the Helm is. We had amazing ways to get loot like the Umbral Engrams are. We have some of the best looking armor we've been getting in all of D2 coming now. We're about to be dinosaurs that we voted on in Season of the Lost. We're getting back that Gallowhorn, another thing that happened in Rise of Iron, and I'm okay with that. We're about to go into a new world that is going to be tougher. We're going to be facing Guardians, Hive. Yeah, we'll be facing harder PvE activities. And let's take a look at just how populated Trials was just this last weekend. It was the most populated that it's been for years. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not the best at Trials, and it does have some flaws right now. Mainly, that they didn't bring the freelance mode in yet. So now, well, 3 stacks can be facing against randoms. But uh, that's okay, really. Now isn't it? When we think about it, yeah, they might one day make it that you could vote to keep the fighter team that you randomly match made in Trials. That would be awesome if they do, I'll be honest. Now, we're getting to have Trials be more rewarding than most activities. We have ways to get loot to drop with multiple perks from doing activities to just opening Umbral Engrams. This is a celebration we're having right now. We're celebrating with Bungie for their 30 years. They made great games. They're helping people out that work for companies that treat them badly. We just got somebody that worked for Blizzard to come to Destiny 2. Destiny is hiring people for movies, TV, anime, something like that. Hate to say it, but Destiny is no longer just a game. You wanted to say, yeah, it's a dead game. It's more alive than ever before. It's going to be its own universe. One day, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox, whatever right now, Xbox 360, oh, I forgot. I'm sorry, Xbox players. I am very sorry. But one day, going to shut down on those. And then Destiny 2 will be even bigger than it ever been before. We are on the cusp of what they could do. This game is going for greatness, and unfortunately, yeah, we are just at the beginning of it. They're improving PvP, they're improving PvE, and I've said this before to my friends, I'll say it to you too. Destiny would not have been what it is today if it wasn't for its unique combination of PvP and PvE. I know, sometimes you feel like they're forcing you to play PvP. They're forcing you to play PvE. Yeah. Okay, for some quests they might be doing that, but for the most part, you don't ever have to leave the one activity type you love playing. You like Gambit, you never have to leave Gambit. You like the Crucible, you don't have to leave the Crucible. They're going to be adding new maps. They said, starting next season, they're going to have a new map every season. Starting this season, they said that they're going to have a new dungeon or a new raid every season, and we're getting a new dungeon in the anniversary set. There's nothing wrong, I could say, with the direction that they're going. The only thing I could say is I'm glad that we now have the ability to go on this journey together, no matter what platform we're on. Crossplay was the best thing that they did. And it's going to be hard for them to top the ability to make all Guardians feel like they can actually play together. We are on the cusp of a new chapter, new greatness, new ideas for enemies. We had times when it felt like it was slow. Times that we had bullet sponges for bosses. Bosses that are just given immune phases that are beyond any ridiculous attempt. I'm looking at you. Well, Scorn guy. The power layer. But we're also getting some of the best narratives that we had. Guardians are making their own stories. Not just stories that are written, but stories that others tell about the raids that they're doing, the PvP matches that they're doing. How a guy went through a whole raid blindfolded. That hero moment you had in the Garden of Salvation where you were the last person alive flying to the last checkpoint and reaching it just as the timer got to 1. And we're also getting to a point where when we get the loot, we're treating it like it's the Gallahorn. I'll be honest, I screamed like a girl when I got my Vex missile class. And I'm watching everybody else when they get their Vex missile class on videos, on Twitter, just everywhere. Scream like little girls. I'm sorry, girls. You should not be insulted by what I'm saying. I'm just an idiot. But besides that, we're getting loot that we want to chase for. I've been trying to get a Velpukula, or however it's pronounced, with Headstone and Encore for weeks now. I just got it last night. I love it. There was a girl chasing after the perfect role for the Cusco. A lot of you are going after the darkest before inside the Prophecy Dungeon, hoping for a god roll. And there are some people, me included, that spending way too much resources on fashion. I mean, I have too many ornaments unlocked for fashion on my Titan. And yet, I made myself look like a homeless Titan with a paper bag on their head. The stories we're saying, either through creative stories that we're writing down, stories we're living through, or even the stories that Bungie put in place, happens to be one main reason why I've been playing this game for 7 years. I remember my favorite moments. I remember getting my first Gallahorn and the Iron Banner. I was doing the best on my team. We lost, but I still got a Gallahorn. I remember my first raid. I was just a Titan that just got to the correct light level to be able to go into the raid. Yeah. I took a chance on an LFG post that said must have Gallahorn. Message them, I don't have the Gallahorn, but I'm a Titan, and if I need to, I could always put up a bubble. They told me that they decided to go with me over this other person that messaged them that had the Gallahorn. I learned from that day on, saying that I'm a bubble Titan would get me into raids. I got to see the best that this community has. I got to see some of the worst too. I played with racists. And I left fire teams that had racists on them. I played with squeakers and little kids. Yes, there is a difference. I played with the worst, I played with the best. I'm fortunate enough to not have played with cheaters, but I did get messages calling me trash for using a shotgun. Now, and I can easily say the season we're in right now is one of the best seasons we ever had in D2. We don't have to worry about the future of Destiny now. I feel like it's in good hands. I feel like I'm going to spend many more years logging onto this game, looking for the loot I want to chase, and putting a paper bag on my head. I'm sorry for taking so long talking about this. If you wish to say how wrong I am or wish to leave me a comment, go ahead. I'm not normally a Destiny YouTuber. I'd love to be, but I don't think I ever will be. But I might say in my comments about how I feel, well, the Witch Queen feels at the beginning. And I hope to play with you guys one day. Said Nani Orb. Thank you for listening to me, and have a good day.